Hey guys, Tony here, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick overview of a new home theater projector that caught my eye, which is the Viewsonic X100-4K. A special thanks to Mick from Sydney Hi-Fi Monavale, who provided me with a projector to test out for a few days. It's not going to be a full review, but more of an overview of this home theater projector plus a few demos, so stay tuned. Right, so the Viewsonic X100-4K grabbed my attention a few weeks ago while I was looking around to see if there was anything new on the market. My EPSON is due for a bulb change, and I was curious to see what else was on the market that had a longer lifespan. Yes, I know it's a simple thing to change a bulb, but I like the idea of not worrying about leaving the projector on chewing hours unnecessarily. A few things about the Viewsonic X100-4K stood out to me. The first being the design. I really liked the sleek look, and it was also in black, which usually is reserved for more expensive models of projectors. And I also saw it had a rating for 30,000 hours for the light source, which is rated at 2900 lumens. I thought it must have been a laser projector, but then I looked into it and I saw it was actually an LED projector, and this really intrigued me as I hadn't seen any 4K LED projectors rated at 30,000 hours before. These two things alone had me intrigued, so I reached out to Mick at Sydney Hi-Fi to see if he could organise one for me for review. I have links to Sydney Hi-Fi in the description below. So let's take a look at the projector. It's a sleek design with a flat black finish and a tasteful silver ribbon around the top and the sides. The dimensions of the projector are 416mm wide, 463mm deep, and 183mm high, weighing in at 7.6 kilograms, which is pretty light for a projector of its specifications. There is a control panel on the back left of the projector, which looks like its preferred orientation is ceiling mounted, as the labels are upside down, and you can control the menu system and inputs using the buttons if for some reason you don't want to use the provided remote. The remote itself is pretty nice to hold, however I found the buttons a little flimsy and not very responsive. Oftentimes I had to press and repress to get it to activate. Under the top cover there are the controls for the lens shift, left, right and zoom. To shift it vertically you need to use the menu system, which also has keystone control. The main issue I had here is that it doesn't have a wide range of motion, and as in my case where I have a shelf instead of a ceiling mount, having it oriented upright meant that I couldn't get the image onto the screen. For the purposes of this test, I have it mounted at ground level. Moving along to the I/O, we have several options available, with 4 HDMI 2.0 ports, a USB Type-A port which I use to attach the optional Wi-Fi dongle. There is a 3.5mm audio out and an SPDIF port to connect out to an external speaker system. There is also a 12-volt trigger, which is really handy if you wanted to connect it up to your receiver's trigger port, and CEC isn't an option. We also have a pair of Harman Kardon speakers on either side, but let's be honest, you aren't going to use them if you have a home theater, and this projector is marketed as a home theater projector. So I'll put the specs up on the screen so that you can take a look, but the standout for me is the short throw distance, which suited my room. While it is called a true 4K projector, I believe it is using some kind of pixel shifting to gain the 4K image. The projector does support HDR as well. Viewsonic also claimed to do 125% of the Rec. 709 color space, which should give a wide color gamut. I do have some thoughts on this, which I'll cover off a little later in the demo. For noise, I can agree with Viewsonic that the fans are actually pretty quiet, and they suck air in from the front and vent in the rear. The only issue I had with noise is that there is a noticeable high-pitched whine that doesn't go away. Here's a recording so you can hear it for yourself. While there is audio going, you can't hear it, but at idle it's quite clearly there. This would probably bother me, but maybe mounted high on the ceiling it wouldn't be as noticeable. One thing that I really liked about this projector is the quick power up. Like a laser projector, it turns on right away, and after a quick splash screen, it gets right into the menu. You can customize the projector so that it goes into the HDMI input, which is nice, and you can change many of the other features and options through the Android TV interface. I had a bit of a hard time finding the finer picture adjustments as they are not stored in the menu but under the source, but the rest of the menu system feels pretty familiar. The projector is also certified for ISF day, night and normal modes, which can help for SDR playback, although like most people in a home theater environment, you will be running in a light controlled room, so it may not be an issue for you. There is also a screencast option, although I didn't try it as I wouldn't actually ever use the built-in interface. When I was playing with the App Store, it actually froze and I had to reboot the projector. There is also voice control built in as well, but I didn't bother with it as, like I mentioned before, I would be using my streaming box like my Apple TV to control everything anyway. Aligning the projector's horizontal position and zoom was really straightforward using the toggles, and the electronic vertical lens shift and keystone correction were also pretty easy to get the picture lined up. With the optional USB Wi-Fi dongle, I was able to connect it to my Wi-Fi and check for firmware updates, which were actually already installed. This is handy if you don't have any LAN ports nearby. So being that this is an overview more than a review, as I wasn't able to keep the projector for more than a couple of days, I was only able to record some short demos, and I thought it would be a good idea to do a side-by-side comparison with my EPSON TW9300. My first impressions of the Viewsonic X100-4K is that it's quite bright, but I found that there was an over-sharpening of the image that I just couldn't tune out. The colors were super saturated as well, and I felt that there were some strange issues with the refresh rate, especially noticeable during the demo of 6 Underground, which I use as a demo as there is a lot of fast camera movement, and it's a great way to compare the way that the two projectors handled it. As you can see from the split screen comparison, there is a bit of jerkiness to the X100-4K versus the TW9300. Here is another side-by-side demo for you to see how they compare. There does seem to be an issue around availability, as I haven't managed to find this projector listed on Amazon as available, and even on the Viewsonic website it is showing as out of stock. The list price on the Viewsonic website is around $1,800, although I did see on Amazon when it was listed it was around $2,200. So what do I think of the Viewsonic X100-4K? I think it's a very unique product in that it's a 4K LED 30,000 light hour projector, and it's priced very well, has a great look about it which I think would suit a lot of people on the lower end of the market. Granted, with some tuning, I think the Viewsonic X100-4K could produce a great picture, and if you're not in the position to spend big dollars for the likes of a JVC NX7 for something with high quality 4K with fast power up, then this projector could be the one for you. If you are after a projector that looks great, is light and has a long life light source, supports HDR and won't break your wallet, I think it's a capable projector. I applaud Viewsonic for releasing this projector, as I feel this could be the way forward, using LED light sources for lower and mid-range projectors to give them a long lifespan. With a light source you won't need to change. I have links in the description if you'd like to check out the Viewsonic X100-4K, as well as the EPSON TW9400, which is the current model upgrade from my own. If you liked the video and found it helpful, make sure you smash the like button for me, and if you enjoy content like this, consider subscribing to the channel and hitting the bell so you will be notified when I upload my next video. Anyway, that's it for this one. You'll catch me in the next one. Bye for now.